The hell is that?
It's Pennsylvania.
Was that just someone speeding past?
Yeah, in some kind of like fucking motorcycle or muscle car or something.
Yeah.
At the beach near here, there's like, I swear everybody removed their goddamn mufflers from their cars.
Yeah.
Just like Battlegrounds 15 minutes ago, Elliot.
Yeah,
it was like that. You can just hear that car coming. You know your time is up.
That fucker just ran me over on the way. Like, God.
I told you we should have swam.
Did you actually make it to shore?
Yeah.
Damn. Anyway. So yeah, that's why I don't like recording in this room, because it's like when the cars drive by, you can hear them. It fills the room.
Yeah.
So the first few episodes I recorded with my head in my closet.
I remember.
Now it's too hot for that.
Mr. Cruz, come out of the closet.
And welcome to episode 7 of Rather Be Playing, the podcast where we talk about how much we'd rather be playing games than
clicking refresh in Firefox every 10 seconds. It's got to be done, lads. I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for you, Josh. I'm doing it for you.
Well, thank you. And I am Josh.
I'm Elliot.
And I'm Stevo.
And Stevo, I know, and I know what you're talking about, and I appreciate it because I don't have that sort of time. So, but thank you.
We've just been so excited about the Switch, lads. So excited about these Switches that we've managed to pick up, but on the horizon, real Nintendo. That's what we should be looking forward to. The SNES Classic. Like, I don't know about you two, but I am as excited as hell for this. The games list just looks phenomenal, but yeah, there's no pre-orders up yet. It's very confusing. Unless
you're in another country.
Yes.
Well, there was Walmart like for an hour llast night, or maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So Stevo, I got one, right?
Yeah, I got a hot tip from my boy Mike at Pod Nerdy. He shot me a text at like 12 or whenever it was. It went on sale, and I got straight on there. Got one ordered. But the weird thing is, it's not arriving release date. So I'm like, you cheap bastards, Walmart. It's like, oh, it's coming out on September 29th, and it says delivery estimate is October 7th. So
I still see that as a win.
It is, yeah. Absolutely.
Paying MSRP for it.
Don't get me wrong, but as I say, I have been I've got 3 tabs open in Firefox for Walmart and Best Buy and Target, and I've been every morning when I flip on my computer for work, first thing I do is just hit refresh on each of them, and then anytime there's any news coming out about that chances of pre-orders going up, or once the hype kind of jumps a bit again, I'm back there and I'm hitting refresh again. The good thing is, Josh gave me the tip off about they were on Game UK. So yeah. I logged into Game UK, put in my parents' address. So my parents still live in Belfast in Northern Ireland. So I've got one of them ordered at Game UK. So I've got one of the better design, the prettier, brighter colors, the Super Famicom design. So I've got one of those coming from Game UK to my parents' house. But the annoying thing about this is that I would have to get it from there. So
it's in Ireland.
Yeah, I'd have to fly over or get my parents to ship it or whatever. Actually, the week after that, Nintendo UK put them on sale. So I ordered another one from there. I've been on the ball, lads. And then Walmart this weekend. So basically, I've got the 3 of us covered. If all of those go through, if there's no problems, if there's no problems with orders, or my dad doesn't accidentally tell them to, oh no, you've delivered that to the wrong place, go next door, So
you're the only one of us that's got a European address.
Yep. So potentially, I've got all of us covered, And if I can manage to get another one on like Best Buy or something that will actually deliver day of, then then I'll take that one for myself and pass it all the way down the line and maybe keep one as a
time to
Christmas
start
present
scalping
for my brother or something. No,
Yeah.
I would not do that. That is one thing I would not sink to those depths, and especially when like this is a thing of beauty. It's a thing of sheer joy. Look at the games list. Like I'm gonna run that through quickly here. So Contra 3, The Alien Wars, Donkey Kong Country, Earthbound, Final Fantasy 3, F-Zero, Kirby Superstar, Kirby's Dream Course, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Mega Man X, Secret of Mana, Star Fox 2, previously unreleased, Street Fighter 2, Turbo Hyper Fighting,
Yes.
easy for me to say, Super Castlevania 4, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super Punch-Out. Guys,
and Yoshi's Island. You forgot Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi's Island, yeah.
Oh, was Yoshi's Island on the US one?
Yeah. Scroll
Oh, it's
down.
not on the UK
I think
one?
I know what page you're looking at. Scroll down a little.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Kotaku one.
Yep, I
You're
knew
right. Yeah, Josh, you've got me covered. So, lads, let's talk about these games because again, I played a couple of these for the podcast already, Link to the Past and Super Metroid, and they were phenomenal. What do I have to play next?
So there in this
Final
game,
Fantasy.
in this list, there really aren't any like turds in here. These
There's
are all
no duds.
These are all
Yeah.
at the very least they're good.
The worst thing about it is games that aren't included because the entire SNES library is by far one of the greatest compilations of video games that we'll probably ever see. And honestly, the only one, and I hate to complain because it's a nearly perfect list, and there's Star Fox 2 in there, and the first time Yoshi's Island has been officially emulated, but no Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, it's a
Chrono
little.
Trigger.
I'm a little disappointed, and while I totally understand why they have Donkey Kong Country in there, I would appreciate them having Donkey Kong Country 2 instead.
2.
But I get it. That's not
Or both.
Yeah,
Like,
or both.
Yeah.
But Stevo, you got to play Mega Man X first off because one, it's pretty short. I mean, I know you need to play Final Fantasy 3 as well, and Super Mario RPG, but they're RPGs and they'll take you a lot longer. But Mega Man X is pretty short and a lot of fun.
Yeah. Good call, and especially because Mega Man 2 was the first one that I played through on the NES Classic when I picked up one of those, and it was just as good as everyone said. Mega Man 2 is a phenomenal game. Highly recommend everyone plays it. If they can.
Maybe we can get you into Mega Man X 2, 3, and 4, and maybe 5, and then we can forget 6 exists, and 7 and 8.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I know that there's Mega Man games that people love, and there's Mega Man games that are like obvious turds, and I just don't.
X6 is an obvious turd. It is terrible.
Okay,
it is.
I'm gonna forget that. I'm gonna skip X4 and think I'm skipping the bad one.
But yeah, so Mega Man X definitely, and if there's any way you can get a buddy to play Secret of Mana with you, definitely get on that.
Oh
Or
yeah,
2.
so it's an RPG, but it's multiplayer.
Yes, it's an action RPG.
Yeah.
So
up to 3.
But yeah, you can have
players.
you can have up to 3 people playing. Although I don't know how that. I think this thing only has 2 ports on it, doesn't it? So
yeah. But at least they actually bundle the second controller with it this time, because last time trying to get your hands on a controller for the NES Classic was almost as tough as getting the console itself, you know?
I mean, unless I see someone reverse engineering a multi-tap for this thing, which I don't necessarily see happening just for Secret of Mana. But you never know.
Are there any other more than 2-player games in there?
There's
no,
no.
not a one.
I don't think so. The only other multiplayer game I can even think of is Street Fighter.
Was
And Mario
F-Zero
Kart.
just 2-player split screen, or could it split in 4?
F-Zero was 1 player.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't even. I was sure it had split screen.
No.
Oh, okay.
Think about that for a minute. Yeah. Straight single player racing game.
Yep.
I've gone back to play it a couple times thinking that. I was like, there's no way. It has to be 2 players. How can you have a racing game?
Mario Kart.
That's 2 players.
Mario Kart. That's only 2 though.
That's only 2.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
They just you may as well pretend that the multi-tap for the Super Nintendo did not exist, because there was a whole total of like maybe 2 or 3 games that used the damn thing. So
FIFA International Soccer definitely would have been on there, and NBA Jam.
No,
No,
I don't think NBA Jam
2.
did.
No way.
Maybe Tournament Edition. I don't know. Maybe I'd have to look back. But
Handoff.
Talk to me. Talk to me about Super Mario RPG. You said it's an RPG, so presumably it's pretty long as well. But would it be a lot shorter than Final Fantasy III and Secret of Mana? Or?
So
I'd say shorter than Final Fantasy III.
Yeah,
but more like Chrono Trigger, maybe a little shorter than Chrono Trigger.
Yeah. What did Chrono Trigger take me? I think I said about 30, didn't I?
I think Mario RPG will probably take you about 30.
Yep.
Okay.
That would be doable. And
it's long enough. It's not super long, but it's got decent pacing, I think. So
it's developed by Square Enix. So that's Squaresoft at the time.
Yeah, Squaresoft. And Elliot, you haven't played it through, but Josh, you have.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Well, then...
There's only a few games in this list that I haven't played. I think I never played Contra 3. Obviously, I've never played Star Fox 2. I think I've at least played everything else.
You've like booted it up.
Yeah, like I never beat Super Castlevania 4, but I definitely have played it. Same with Super Ghouls and Ghosts, which if you have beaten it, then good on you.
Oh my god, yeah. I tried it. I bought it again when it came out on the new 3DS virtual console, and it was so much harder than I remembered.
I think I've beaten the first level. That's about it. I think I've beaten the first level. That's it.
It's insane.
Is it harder than the first game, or is the first game like harder because it's clunkier and crappier?
It's still clunky.
It's still clunky. It's just impossible. It's impossible what they put you through.
And what about what about the Star Fox games? Would you recommend playing them?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
I mean, the Star Fox games are tons of fun.
I've never played a Star Fox game, and they're definitely beloved among Nintendo fans, or they were until the one came out in the Wii U.
Pretty much the only good ones are Star Fox and 64? Star Fox 64.
Yeah.
And since then, it's been kind of like soul searching, trying to find find how to evolve. How do you evolve a on-rail space shooter?
Yeah, I remember playing it, trying to get through like find the secret areas where you like got to shoot the one red asteroid in the asteroid belt, which opens up like a warp portal to this other level. And it's just just the various different ways you can get to the final level are it's interesting. Yeah, how that all plays.
And is there actually a story in it? And there's character, or is it just very surface level?
There is a story, but it's inconsequential. Pretty much.
It's basically like you get told kind of like at the outset what it is, and then you're just doing missions in order to find that guy you're trying to kill.
Okay, but I always got the feeling like people really love the characters in Star Fox.
The characters are great. Yeah, they have personalities, and while you're flying, they communicate with you, and
everybody hates Slippy though.
That's how you get to know him. Yeah.
And what about the Kirby games? Would either of you have any interest in them? Or
I don't remember. I don't remember much of Kirby's Dream Course, but Kirby Superstar was awesome. It's like 6 different games all in one. There's like your general Kirby, like side-scrolling type game. I think there's another one too in there, like kind of like that too. But then there's like another mini game, which is like a strength test.
A strength test.
Yeah, it's like you ever played Mortal Kombat? You know where you got to
test your might,
pound the buttons to like break the blocks and stuff.
Yeah,
it's something similar to that. And in this one, you can like break through the earth. But like it's just a collection of little games for Kirby, and they're all pretty entertaining. I don't know. Are
they multiplayer? Or are they?
That's a good question. I don't know if some of them might be, but I'm not off the top of my head. I know like not the one that like the side-scrolling Kirby part. I don't think that one's multiplayer, but I think some of the mini games might be.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot though.
What else? Do you think there's enough left over for SNES Classic 2? Do you think that they've left enough off the table, like Donkey Kong Country 2, Chrono Trigger?
Oh yeah. Illusion of Gaia. Let's see. Well, Terranigma would be great since we never got that. What else could be going there? I mean, I was not a big fan of Final Fantasy 2 or 4, but people have that nostalgia for that one, so I'm glad they
could do. Yeah, if they're doing ones that have never been released, they could do like 5. They
I
could
guess.
do Terranigma. They could do Seiken Densetsu 3.
Yeah. I think.
But
I mean,
I can't think of more than like maybe 10 that I'd expect.
I'd have
Maybe
to really
this is
sit
it.
down and consider it because I think there's a lot, but this is a good list right here. So
It's a great list. It's so good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that Steve got these for us for free. So.
You might
Not
have to pay
expecting any- not expecting anything
shipping
in turn-
from Ireland.
turn.
You can PayPal my dad.
Is that VAT included or do
Yeah. Well, hopefully, fingers crossed it all goes through, and yeah, we should pick a couple of these and play them all at the same time. Maybe
Yeah.
Super Mario RPG would be a good one. Elliot, give you a little incentive to play it through as well,
Yeah, it's one of those games I've started a few times and just haven't been able to get through, or not get through, but remember that I'm playing it and keep up with it. And it's one that I've desperately wanted to play because there's a whole series of Mario RPGs. They're not all interconnected story-wise, but I feel like the evolution of the Mario RPG kind of follows a path that gets better and better. Like
So what were there was ones on Nintendo 64, GameCube? Has there one on every console
the Paper Mario games,
the Paper Mario, the Mario and Luigi games on Game Boy and DS. Is that it?
I think those are really the only two. I mean, they all kind of revolve around like the timed hit system.
Yeah.
Similar to South Park, The Stick of Truth.
So usually it's each character, at least in Mario RPG. I haven't really played a lot of Paper Mario or anything, but you have different characters, and like when you attack, if you press the button again at the right time, they'll do more damage. Usually everybody's special attack has some sort of like button combination or a timed hit that you need to do. Like with Geno, you hold down the button until like the third star pops up, and then you let go, and that does the most damage, sort of thing. So, or you got to rotate the controller a little bit, or rotate the D-pad, things like that allow you to do more damage. It's a neat system, and like the other neat thing is that everybody shares magic points or flower points. So, if Mario uses an attack spell, you've got to make sure you have enough healing for Mallow to use, or enough MP left over for Mallow to heal you and stuff like that. So it's got some interesting things. The game as a whole isn't terribly difficult. There are some, I think there's a couple difficulty spikes here and there, but
then Chrono Trigger wasn't that difficult either. Or am I just great at games?
They're not.
That's not true.
We know meant to be hard.
It's not. I think you'll have a lot of fun with it though, despite any sort of. I enjoy it, even though there's some challenges. There is like a hidden super boss that's a pain in the ass, but other than that, it's fun.
And the other thing
I like that.
Go on, Elliot.
Sorry, I was just say I like the things that kind of add another dimension to the battle systems. So the tried and true select from a menu what you're going to do and watch you do it. This has like once you're watching yourself do it, you can hit the button. Kind of like the battle system for timeless classic Legend of Dragoon.
It's a terrible goddamn game. Mario RPG is perfectly fine because you press one goddamn button afterwards or something, or you do stuff before the attack connects. With Legend of Dragoon, if you don't do it, you do like 0 damage. If Mario, you do like normal, and this adds damage on top of it. Legend of Dragoon is a terrible game.
Josh, if you can't hack it, that's okay.
I've beaten it. It's a terrible game.
You don't have to.
I beat it. I beat Legend of Dragoon. It's a terrible game.
Yeah, but it definitely adds something to an RPG when the combat and the moment to moment action is a bit more interesting in that way. Mass Effect, the second ones where you're chaining up different powers and different enemies have shields that you have to use certain biotic powers to take down before you can shoot people with regular firearms, and that kind of thing, adding that level of strategy to it definitely makes the whole thing, roll a bit more interestingly and gets you from story beat to story beat, So I do appreciate a little bit extra.
That's Mass Effect 2?
Mass Effect, I think, did all of them have like combining powers as well, or was it 2 and 3?
You're asking the wrong person here.
I only played 1, and
did 1 do it as well? Maybe 1 did it.
Part of 2. I don't think 1 was too strategy focused.
Yeah, I think maybe it was 2 and 3 where you could like chain biotic powers and Great games.
But you'll like the story of Mario RPG, I think too, because it's goofy. The entire
sense of humor is great.
Yeah. The entire game is like, "Are you Mario? Prove that you're Mario!" And then you got to press the jump button, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's Mario! Holy crap!" There's like that happens like a million times throughout the game. And like Mario doesn't talk; he just like transforms into other characters and like acts stuff out. It's interesting and it is pretty funny. It's an oddball way to tell the story, but the story itself is pretty odd. So yeah,
that's great though. You do like games telling things a little bit differently, adding a little bit of charm, which Nintendo always does.
Yeah. So yeah. I think getting an SNES Classic here, you're going to be hard pressed to really find a game in here that you don't enjoy. The only one I can think of is Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and that's only because it's punishing as absolute hell.
Yeah.
Maybe there's no reason to put that in there. No one's gonna finish that game. I don't know why would you put that in there?
What about Super Punch-Out?
So Super Punch-Out's also pretty difficult. I've made it to like the last few guys in the game. It does get, I mean, it's all timing and a pattern and recognizing patterns, but some of the guys at the end do some pretty insane, I think it's pretty random stuff on you. So it's a lot of patience, but it's fun. I like it a lot. So at least better. I like it a lot more than I did the original Punch-Out at least.
Yeah. So many of these games are just like, I just want to have a console and own these games. Like, as I said, I've already played.
Like you bought one.
Yeah, but this is what I mean.
You bought 3 of them.
Like, I just, everyone should own these games. Everyone should own A Link to the Past. Everyone should own Super Metroid. Everyone should own, and I've never owned Super Mario World. I just want to own that game. And I'm not going to...
came with the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I know. Everyone who had a Super Nintendo had this game. And I never had a Super Nintendo. I never had this game. And I kind of... It's slightly different from Mario 1 and Mario 3, which were on the NES Classic, where you're just playing start to end. Super Mario World, there's so many different branching directions you can go, and there's Star World, and there's like layer upon layer upon layer that you could just play the game forever. And I won't feel the need to beat it in the same way as I wanted to beat Mario 3, for example. I would be happy just being able to jump in, play a level of Super Mario World, and maybe explore the level even for the different hidden pathways and stuff to get to.
There's different exits and stuff. I remember playing it, and I had pretty much 100% of the game except for one extra level that I could not figure out where the hell the extra exit was. I knew what level I needed to go to in order to open up this one level, but it took me forever to find it. It was like it was the level across the bridge. And I think it's World 2 or in between 2 or 3 or something like that. And there's like an extra exit that leads you to a little island.
Yeah.
And it took me forever to find that thing.
Is it the one that you had to fall down on a Yoshi and then you had to like, after the thing, you had to jump up off him?
Dude, this was like 25 years ago.
I just remember seeing one of my friends getting to a secret level one time. And obviously I had never played it myself, but watching him do that, the skill that it took to get to this extra hidden thing, I was just blown away as a kid completely. It was amazing.
I remember like I had my own Super Mario World and Super Nintendo and thought I had played quite a bit of it and had unlocked a lot. And then I'd go to a friend's house who had it too and watch them play it. And they'd have all these extra islands and shit and like Star World levels that they could get to. I'm just like, wow, how big is this game? How much
Well, and don't forget, there's also basically New Game Plus.
You can start it over and play it again?
No. So, well, I mean, but when you beat the Star Road, like all the enemies change and like the colors of everything change.
Oh man, I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, if you beat the entire Star Road, I vaguely remember that like the Goombas will change, or not the Goombas. Like the enemies will change into different types of enemies. I mean, the game is still largely the same. I think it's just like the backgrounds of everything change. I think instead of it's green on Yoshi's Island, it's like pink. It's like almost like a season change or stuff. It's just an interesting little touch, I think.
Wow.
It's like to show that you've beaten the Star World. I just remember Tubular, the second level of Star World, sucking so much ass. I hate that level. It's a level where you have to you turn into like a fat balloon Mario, and you have to like float through all these damn flowers dropping fireballs on you. And it's I just remember hating it and raging as a little kid.
So many great ideas in that game that they just put together.
Yeah, it is a masterclass. Again, it's the next level up from Mario Brothers 3. It's just something else.
Yeah.
So
like I never had interest in the NES Classic because I have all the games on Wii and Wii U right now.
Yeah.
So all the games I wanted, and I kind of am thinking like the other games that were on there were games I hadn't played or wanted to play or given a proper chance. Maybe I'm missing out on them. Maybe I should have grabbed an NES Classic while I had it. But with the SNES, Star Fox 2, Yoshi's Island, all these games that either haven't made release before or they've never been emulated because they use that extra chip, the mode 7, mode 9 or something
Super
like that.
FX.
Well, the Super FX, but it's also mode
7. Mode 7's what's used in like Mario Kart and like the overworld of FF3. So I mean, it's not like Mode 7 has been emulated properly because I've seen those games. But
so Yoshi's Island has
specifically the Super FX chip, since it was an extra hardware chip in games like Star Fox, and I think it was Donkey Kong Country also used it too, right?
I don't think it.
Those games.
Donkey Kong Country's been emulated.
Okay, maybe it's just Star Fox then, but those were difficult.
But Yoshi's Island and Star Fox notoriously haven't been emulated.
That's right.
So
Yoshi's Island.
Did Yoshi's Island have a Super FX chip?
I remember there was something about it. It might be a Super FX chip. I'm not entirely sure. So,
I thought that was just Mode 7, but then you're right. There is Mode 7 stuff in Super Mario World as well. Anyway, that's the crazy stuff that you forget about cartridges is if you're trying to make a game and you don't have enough RAM in the Super Nintendo
you just add more into the cart.
Processor, you just solder it into the cart and now you've got it. That's cool stuff. You could never do that again.
So guys, I know we're really looking forward to this thing, and I can't wait for it to come out. But in the meantime, we've got all these other goddamn games to be playing, and
we've got so many. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your segue, but it's maddening how much we have going on.
I've got freaking Wolfenstein to be playing, and
Me too.
From the last backlog roulette, and I've played 15 minutes of it. I literally played a little this morning. I've had like guests over and stuff, so I haven't really had a whole lot of time to play games. And I'm actually leaving for a trip tomorrow for a few days to go for work. So I'm going to be missing a few more days on it. Again, it's very, very simple. What I've done so far. It's definitely a lot less hectic than Doom is. I feel like I need to do a lot more strategic movement or tactical movements, crouching behind things and peeping out to shoot enemies. I decided to go on I Am Death Incarnate, the hard mode.
Crazy.
Elliot went on normal.
I just did normal, yeah. And I think we're at the exact same spot too.
Yeah, we've both played both played a tiresome 15 minutes of the game.
Okay, guys, at least jump back in and finish out the introduction part.
So is it
still the intro?
Is it still levels, or is it levels like Doom, or is it like BioShock? Well,
it's kind of missions. It's missions broken up by story pieces. Okay. You'll basically get cutscenes, and then they'll tell you what the current situation is, and then it's a pretty fun really story. And yeah, the cutscenes are amazing. It's really funny. The characters are fantastic. You're going to really enjoy it. And just take some time, take a couple hours, and play through the intro at least, and you'll be hooked. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know Wolfenstein's always had a slightly different humor than like Doom has, where Doom was more like, just fuck it, kill everything, and that's the joke. And where Wolfenstein's the joke is, hey, we've got Nazis and they're all insane and robot Nazis, and
so we'll do what we gotta do.
And the main character's name is BJ Blazkowicz, which is a little on the nose. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, did I ever tell you guys about the first time I played the original Wolfenstein?
No. Do tell, Elliot, please.
Allow me to tell you the story. It was on DOS, right? It was like the little floppy disks. And I don't even know where we were, but my dad took me to some store where they had the little floppy disks in like the plastic bags hanging, and not even in the original boxes, not any manuals or anything, just sitting there. And it said Wolfenstein. And I remember thinking, I've heard of this. It's very cheap. Dad, will you buy it for me? And I mentioned, I think the first episode, that I played a few DOS games on that computer thanks to my dad.
Yep.
So we got it and started playing it. And encountered the first enemy, and it was Barney the dinosaur of the children's TV show.
What?
So someone had like modded,
replaced
ROM
all the
hacked,
sprites. Oh, brilliant!
and removed all the Nazis with Barney the dinosaur, and he'd like have his little laugh every time you shot him. And I'm like, I'd never played this game before, so at the time I was like, this is a weird game. Is this how it's supposed to be? Yeah, I guess it must be. It says Wolfenstein. This must be why everyone loves it. Because as a kid, Barney is for younger kids. So like you hate Barney the older you get. It proves how big of a kid you are, right? And
did you discuss this with any of your friends? When did you work?
Were they all like, that's not what my game does? What are you talking about?
No, they were all on like console games. I didn't really know any other PC gamers. I wouldn't have said I was a PC gamer primarily either. It was just a few games we had on PC, and shit, that just came back to me. Like the Barney, I might have it buried somewhere, or maybe at my parents' house, but it's this bizarre ROM hack. I'm sure we could probably download it somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, that was my first Wolfenstein.
My first Wolfenstein by Elliot.
Barney Stein.
Yeah, I don't even think they made the title into a pun.
Ich liebe dich, dich liebe ich. No, I love you,
really
you love
creepy,
me.
Dude. That was like horror movie stuff.
I know. That's the no. Okay.
It wasn't that of much of a dedicated. They just wanted to swap out the sprites.
I know.
Fair play. Fair play. So what else have you been playing, Josh? You've been playing a bit of...
So yeah, I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age, which came out a few weeks ago, and I finally beat the main story. I may have done some things in the game to make my party extremely overpowered early on, because I've already beaten the game in the International Zodiac Job version, and it's pretty similar to that one. There's just some minor things in between that have changed from that version, but it's largely the same game. But yeah, so
like the story hasn't changed. And
yeah, the story hasn't changed.
Like it's all the
same.
same.
The quests are the same, or is there?
It's just mechanical stuff that's changed.
Yeah, like it added a second job for everybody instead of just the one job. So that's the biggest difference between this version and the IZJS version.
Are you going to platinum it?
I'm debating it. Some
that
of them
means yes. This is Josh, and that means yes.
Well, the problem. So okay, so like I said, so I've beaten the game. I've gotten all the espers so far. They're like the little summon dudes you get. So I got all 13 of those. I'm done with most of the hunts, which are like these optional go off, kill this monster, get a reward type thing. I've got like 5 or 6 of those left. Plus, and that includes the one that takes hours to beat. Because it has like a 10 million HP or something ridiculous.
So how much do you have left for the platinum, or what's the big thing? What's the big stop? Like, there must be one particular trophy that's terrible that you don't want to get, is there?
So there's 2. One of them is I got to go through and beat trial mode, which is this extra mode which has like 100 stages of you just fighting enemies.
Okay, so it's just kind of boring. Can you literally leave it on to play itself?
No, like some of the, like, I hear once you get towards the last few of them, they get pretty difficult. I don't think it's going to be boring. I think it'll be challenging. It's just going to take a while. Yeah. And then the other one, you
have the 4x speed on that. You think that'll help?
Oh, well, yeah, I think I could probably run because of the level my party's at right now, at least. I mean, I'm only like level 60 or something. And obviously if I got to like 99, it might be easier, but
Elliot, for comparison's sake, what level are you?
Oh God, I think 12, maybe 15.
Are you gonna beat it, or have you already?
I'm definitely gonna beat it. I beat the Zodiac job system version like 2 or 3 years ago for the first time, so it's a bit more recent for me.
Yeah.
But it's just so good. It's my top 3 favorite Final Fantasies, top 3 favorite games probably. If
you ever get the chance, you need to read up on how they did like the translation of the game, because the English version has some of the best voice acting. I mean, say what you will about the story itself, but the acting and the characters and how they, just speak is just really interesting. They went and they did all these different old-timey dialects and for the various races and factions across the world.
That's pretty cool. So it's not just straight like Western, American English. No,
it's like very flowery speaking.
They talk like Game of Thrones. Like it's
It really works.
Or like Lord of the Rings. It's
done very well.
You couldn't tell it wasn't Western developed except for the stupid main character who is a anime trope and his best friend who's an anime trope. But everyone else is like, it's very, it's very univeal. I don't know.
But even then,
maybe that's the wrong word.
But even then, Fran, who looks like is a walking anime bunny girl, like she's got her voice is still interesting. They got like some. I can't remember if she was Icelandic or Scandinavian, but they got a girl to do that voice, and it's a very unique voice.
Yeah.
I admit when I first heard it, I was kind of put off by it, but it really grew on me. But yeah, so all the characters. I mean, yes, the Vaughn and Penello. I don't care about them at all whatsoever. They're just there for the ride. But the other 4 characters are at least interesting, and they keep the plot going. And everybody loves Balthier. Everybody loves Balthier.
Yeah.
I wish the game had more Al Cid. That's really my only disappointment with it.
But yeah, the localization got to be the best localized Final Fantasy
ever
that ever will be. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
But yeah, so and the other trophy is that I was talking about is completing the bestiary, which that'll take a while. Shouldn't be insane, but that'll take a bit of time.
Elliot, was that just you imagining doing it?
Yeah.
So the thing is that there's the hunt club, which is a separate thing from the hunts. It's like there's an area in the Fawn Coast after you've beaten Arcades. I think you go there and talk to a dude. He's like, "Hey, go find all these rare game, and as you turn in the trophies you get from them, we'll give you gear." There's like 30 of those or something like that, and
that's not that bad. That's not Metal Gear Solid 5. Having to lay traps and jump out.
Yeah, but there's still 80 rare game total. So that's just those 30. So
no.
But yeah, I mean, here's my biggest problem with FF12. It's a curse and a blessing is that there is so much optional shit to do in Final Fantasy 12. Like I love it. I love the fact there's a million hunts. There's side quests. Like I found a side quest I'd never even seen in the original. I mean, I know it was there, but I never came across it. There's, all the rare game hunts. There's the espers. There's a bunch of extra just random shit you may never come across if you don't know where to look. But that's the problem, though. There's a lot of stuff in this game that's hidden behind some random NPC that you would never talk to normally, telling you about like a slight hint about this thing somewhere. So
not my favorite style of quest giving, I'll tell you.
Oh, but it's a proper, like, that's how they used to do them all. Like it's a very modern game that still has those features from classic games. Yeah. It's uniquely placed.
The question is, can they find the balance of making it interesting enough where you want to talk to everyone, as opposed to you're just running around an area, click A on this person, click A on this person, click A on this person. Those are two very different things. And if they do it right, it can add so much to a game. Like Witcher 3, for example, you want to speak to everyone because potentially there could be an amazing story. Every different person, no matter how seemingly unimportant they are, somehow has a story to tell and sometimes a quest to give. So if they could do it well, it totally makes a game a million times better. If you do it badly, for me, it can totally ruin a game. But
some of the things that the hints are just so damn vague that you literally have, like, you'll find out like, oh, well, that guy clearly means Rabanastre. Okay, well, Rabanastre's this massive city in the beginning of the game with tons of people running around in it, and so I'm just basically running to and from everybody, finding the right person to go do X, Y, and Z. And I mean, luckily I've done a lot of this stuff before, so I knew where to go. But still, it can be frustrating. And while I respect the whole, not holding the player's hand, there's a weird fine balance, I think, where some of the hints probably could have been better given.
Yeah.
But overall, it's a fantastic game.
They can make you find it on your own, but once you find it, don't fucking hide it behind a riddle as well.
Yeah.
Elliot, what else have you been playing?
We mentioned Wolfenstein. I'm at the exact same place as Josh with the exact same opinion, so we're good to go there.
Neither of you booted up Spec Ops yet.
No, I've installed it, but I have not booted it up.
Yeah, me either. So I guess
I totally forgot about that. I'm not gonna lie.
But for some, and I have played like the opening mission of that before, so I do have, it's fine, but I just haven't gotten anywhere with it.
Have you been playing a lot of Switch? Have you been playing any more Zelda or any Mario Kart or?
on occasion I'll play like a race, or I'll try to do a shrine real quick in Zelda. But like this week just has totally gotten away from me in terms of playing games. But last week, for some reason, I booted up The Evil Within, and I played the opening chapter of that.
How was it?
Wait, Elliot went,
take your time. No rush. What is it?
You purposefully went and booted up a horror game?
I did, and I wanted to mention this in the last episode, but I didn't quite get to it. It's I saw the trailer for the new one, and I had to. It's like I've had this in my Steam library for so long, and I always buy horror games. I love Resident Evil games, but they terrify me, and I can never play them. But I still buy them. So I had to try The Evil Within, and it's not that scary. It's not scary in the same way as Resident Evil or Silent Hill. It's scary in at least the opening mission. That's all I can go off of. It's scary in the way of like Texas Chainsaw. Like it's just bloody. It's over the top. Yeah, gory and bloody.
Is there good characters, or is it just very in your face? Like,
so the characters are Resident Evil. They are over the top, like gruff cop, and then like he has his like younger detective who's like this goody two shoes. Like his vocabulary is a lot wider than it should be for being a young detective, and it's it's those character tropes, those anime inspired character tropes that we're used to from Resident Evil games, with the same exciting and very believable dialogue. And the over the top action scenes as well. But when you're actually playing the game and you're, going through the horrorness of it and trying to survive, it's like I had maybe one like tiny jump scare, and it wasn't nearly even on the level of the dogs through the windows in Resident Evil 1. It was just like most of the horror was just bloodiness. And I'm like, I can deal with this. Yeah. I can deal with gore as long as it's
fun.
Not.
Did you play much of it? Is it a shooter, or like what kind of thing is it? Is it
it's like Resident Evil
kind of?
Yeah, it's survival horror,
right?
It's third person. You spend most of the first chapter with a limp, actually almost the entire thing. And so that part is frustrating, and that part adds to like the fear, which is a great mechanic. You're like, I can't quite get away, but I sort of can. And then like the cutscene that happens between the opening and the second part is I can't say it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, but it's the most ridiculous thing I have seen in a long time.
Okay, clearly you haven't played enough Wolfenstein. You're doing it again, Elliot. You're getting sidetracked when you should be concentrating on more important shit.
So I'm not going to focus on Evil Within because I have Wolfenstein, I have Spec Ops. I still technically have to finish The Last of Us from the last roulette, and Metroid Prime from when we started this whole thing. And a Splatoon 2 comes in
Splatoon. So
tomorrow.
You convinced me to pick it up. And I have to say, I jumped into the Splatfest. I only played, maybe we even talked about this. I only played like 2 rounds. I didn't find I was good at it. And I'm hoping it's a game that you can get better at. Because like the one thing that always frustrated me about, and I've said this a million times, the Battlefield games or Call of Duties was that I would hit
a level.
Yes, exactly. I'm terrible at them. And I couldn't get that much better. Sometimes there'd be, like, in Call of Duty, I could pick certain perks and, like, use the shotgun and use the fast-running perk, and I could do half decent. There would be ways of doing it. But Battlefield, for example, or Counter-Strike, where it's first-person shooting and it's 100% about skill, I just don't have the skill that other people have. So I'm hoping with Splatoon there's going to be more strategy involved, and that hopefully I can learn how to be a bit better and have more of an impact just without getting headshots the whole time.
Yeah. The thing I love about Splatoon is there's multiple ways to be to contribute to the team. You can go in like a shooter and just blow everyone up. You can play defensive, but you can also just fucking paint the ground. Cover as much ground as you can, get rid of the enemy's paint, and so there's always something to do even if you're not good at like aiming and shooting.
I think I have to learn the switch in between swimming and walking thing as well. I wasn't really understanding how that works. So you're basically you change from a little kid into a squid, and you can like dive into your own color paint, and that refills your weapon ammo. I think.
It's like reloading. It also lets you move a little faster too.
Yeah,
you want to get around, you need that.
And that's how you go up walls. You have to paint the walls, and you slide up them.
Oh yeah, that's right. And Josh, did you pick it up?
No, not yet. I just played the Splatfest with you, but I haven't picked up Splatoon 2 yet.
Yeah, I guess I'll let you know how it goes. See if it's something that I can pick up.
I was reading that it also doesn't do that thing. So in the Splatfest, we were having issues because you can't have a party of just 2 or 3. Like you have to have a party of 4. Did they fix that? I thought I was reading that they didn't.
That's weird.
Teams are 4 people.
I know, but you have to have, if you want to play with friends, you have to have 3 other friends. Like it won't randomly assign you other players.
No way.
I've never played with friends.
That sounds like the kind of thing they would have to patch. They could not leave that. But
I don't even know if that was part of the first game because I never had anyone who had it.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed to hear that there's no split screen in it. I was hoping because Elliot, you were telling me it's a very approachable shooter. It's not like military shooters. It's more fun. It's obviously really bright colored and beautiful graphics and Nintendo charm as always. But I was hoping that maybe like my girlfriend Nisha might be interested in picking up a controller and giving it a go, and it might be one that would be easier to learn than a regular first person shooter, but or third person shooter even. But there's no split screen, and considering how good the split screen was in Mario Kart, which is also a Wii U game, essentially being ported over, Nintendo can tell you that this is the sequel to Splatoon, but Splatoon 2 is basically Splatoon Deluxe Edition, and I was just a bit gutted that there's no split screen. I thought that Nintendo were getting on top of this stuff, but
it's weird from Nintendo because there was no split screen.
There was in the first screen. You said that there was.
There was no split screen, but there was 2-player. One would play off the gamepad screen, and the other one would play off the TV screen.
Okay.
That was offline only co-op though.
Offline only co-op, but even offline only co-op would have been a bit of fun. I would really have enjoyed that. But you're saying it wasn't actually split screen. It used the screen on the Wii U. That's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, but you would think, I mean, because the processing is still all done on the Wii U, so it's still rendering the 2 screens separately. So I don't know why the Switch couldn't have done it.
A slight disappointment for me, but
it's a bummer. Like they're so good about everything has a couch co-op or a couch
they're usually
multiplayer option,
good about it.
And this one doesn't. Yeah,
and with the Switch, like. This is what the Switch is for, It's to get people playing together. That's like their call to arms for the Switch as a console. It's a bit weird.
So if you take that a step further and you see that they do have offline co-op if everyone brings their own Switch.
Yeah, and it's like
maybe it was a purpose. Like they did that on purpose.
Yeah, everyone has to have a Switch.
Buy Nisha a Switch and she can play with you.
Yeah, right. But Mario Kart has been a lot of fun playing that as well.
Yeah.
It's
the
so
three
good.
of us haven't been on yet.
Yeah, we haven't. Okay, we've got to sort that out this evening. We really do.
Because instead we've been...
I played a 4-player split screen last night, actually, with the guests that were here. So.
Oh, yeah, was it fun?
How'd it go?
Yeah, it was good, actually. I mean, I think like my wife and my wife's friend that was here, I mean, neither of them are like especially good. So me and the other guy were kind of duking it out for first place.
Yeah.
But he had brought his Switch with him, so he had 2 extra controllers.
Oh,
so
cool.
We all did the little extra, hold up the little Joy-Con, each one Joy-Con each, played that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun, actually. I miss being able to do that. So it was
sounds like your living room was a Nintendo commercial.
For a little bit, yes, it was.
The 2 Switches, and bring the girls in too.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yes.
So yeah, we haven't really. The 3 of us haven't jumped on Mario Kart just yet, but we have managed to play one game together recently.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Oh, we've got the bug. We've got the bug that is going around all gamers, well, mostly PC gamers, I suppose, at the moment. Everybody's talking about it.
Only PC gamers.
PC exclusive.
Okay, only PC gamers. But
drum roll.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I get it. I understand what the hype is about. I wasn't sure I would until I watched a couple of streams online, which again isn't something that I normally do with games. but I watched a half-hour stream of the Waypoint guys playing Battlegrounds, and it is just it's a really interesting game. It's such a great concept. So basically 100 people are dropped on a map and it's a battle royale. You basically have to run around. You've got no guns to start off with. You have to run into buildings, pick up whatever you can, and then the map shrinks and you have to get to the area that's a safe zone, or else you'll die in a blue fog. And we've been playing this as a group. Well, we've played a couple of games.
We're not great.
We're terrible. Don't get us wrong. We're terrible at the game. We've got a couple of kills, in fairness. But, guys, I have so much I want to say, but I want to hear yous, because I was the first one to jump on board, and I was worried that you would be a little hesitant, but I think...
You bought it for me, so why not?
It had to be done. It had to be done.
Yeah.
So, what do you think?
So I think with Steve actually being able to kill people, with my ability to sneak up on things, and with Elliot's ability to be a nice meat shield for us,
get out of your way early. We've
identified our skills.
Yeah, it's. I read a headline recently that said the reason it's so good is because it understands human nature.
Yeah,
and probably for better or for worse, the game is a human nature simulator, and you're all dropped down together, and especially if you drop next to enemies or other players that you're not ready to face yet, it's just a scramble for who can find the tools to murder each other the fastest. And it's I'm trying to think of like what's the element that makes it so good and so addictive. And
okay,
one thing the game does well is that you can join a game really damn quick.
Yeah.
Really I still get some like weird ass audio issues with the loading thing, the loading zone you have where you just kind of can run around and shoot stuff. But in general, matches start pretty quickly.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and you don't and you're not stuck watching the match when you die early. You can just leave and jump into the next one.
That's it, exactly. And one of the big things is if you get killed, you don't have to watch a kill cam. You don't have to watch somebody teabagging you after you're dead. It's basically, you're zipped right out of there unless one of your teammates is still playing and you can spectate them. But it's like, it doesn't have those extra moments of being mad with yourself. It's just like, oh shit, that happened. I guess it happened to someone else a second later. I guess it happened to someone else. It's you don't feel bad about it. And the other thing that I found is there's so much to learn about the game. There's so many layers and layers and layers of strategies, how to go about things, how to enter a building, how to, should you fight or flight all the time. You constantly have this tense feeling. It's like, oh, what was that noise? Is that, oh, it's a car. Oh no, those guys are probably tooled up. And you have to decide whether to try and stand and fight or just get the hell out of there. And because we're so bad, it's usually just get the hell out of there, which inevitably...
Or in my case, it's, guys, I see someone, bam, bam, bam. Damn it, Josh, it's me.
Oh, man.
The best part was, Josh, you missed me with both shots.
Probably. I don't doubt it.
He's in here. Get him. Boom, boom. It's me, you idiot.
That's me. I'm basically jumping, dancing the bullets. It's terrible. But, yeah, the thing that I love most about it is we're all on the headsets and we're talking to each other, and we are basically trying to approach it professionally. I mean, we're
still learning.
We're still learning,
trying to organize.
But we're like, okay, check upstairs, check the roofs, make sure that nobody's, we're trying to give each other little bits of help and trying to keep each other alert. And then so we're like, oh yeah, we're the pros, we're the Navy SEALs. And then
guys, as the only one of us with military experience, I really feel like I should be leading this crew. Okay?
Okay, possibly. I feel like I've been doing okay so far, but we'll see. But the good thing is we're trying to be cool and we're trying to do it properly, and then and then shit hits the fan, or we hear bullets, or something happens. We walk in on another crew. We're just like, oh shit, fuck, get the hell out of there! It's just like hop in the car, and we all hop in the car, and nobody jumps in the driver's seat. And we're like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Well, like Elliot, we first landed earlier. Stevo and I landed near each other. Elliot's like, I'm like a mile away. I don't know how that happened. I'm just gonna go check this house. Wait, there's 6 people in here.
Yeah.
Well, that was quick.
Poor lonely dead Elliot.
you have to stick together.
Yeah. Well, you do. Although I've heard I can't remember. Was it the Giant Bomb guys or something? Some of them talking about this game mode called Winters, named after Major Winters from isn't he a Major Band of Brothers? Yeah, and he gets caught behind enemy lines, and he basically has to fight his way back to his squad. So the idea is they don't set markers when they're going out of the plane, and the 4 people in the Battleground squad go off in different directions, and the idea is they all have to meet up. So they basically have to either fight their way back to the squad, and it just leads to a load of different stories, and that's another great thing about Battlegrounds.
Holy cow!
The stories that we have, even from just the 3 sessions or whatever that we played on it, are just fantastic. Something different happens every time, and you just can never predict it. Even best laid plans, best laid plans are just fall to pieces. Man. It's brilliant.
Well, and even not even having a plan. Like the first time I played with Stevo, we managed to get to 5th place, but I think we got like 1 kill, and it wasn't me.
It was me.
You spent so much time like prepping, and you ransack these houses, and you get armor level 1. You see a few houses later, and you're up to armor level 2. Like you're sort of like progressing in the game in that sense, and you might just get headshotted while you run into the next house, and like, well, that was it, and I'm gonna move on.
But there definitely is a sense of progress, isn't there? We do feel like we're getting slightly better, and it's getting slightly smarter. Like the game isn't polished, the game isn't beautiful, it isn't AAA by any means, and that kind of leads to a roughness and a less. Well, I don't know. Maybe there is a lot of gaming into the system, but I feel like it still rewards simplicity. It's a simple game that rewards simplicity. It rewards awareness. It rewards communication. It rewards quick thinking, and it rewards having the humility to know when to run the fuck away. It's like you sometimes you just got to stay alive. You might think, oh, I've got a good gun this time, and I can take these guys out. But if there's 3 of them and 2 of you, you should probably just get the hell out of there.
Yeah. The stakes are real. The stakes are high, and even though it's easy to just stop and when you die to just start it over, like there's so much on the line, and that creates so much tension. Because every game you play, you're like, this could be it. Like we have to, and it rewards preparation is what it does. Like it's a different way of thinking about it. Like you prepare so much knowing you're not going to make it, probably. But you do it for the hope that you will, to give yourself the best shot.
Absolutely. As opposed to like Call of Duty or Battlefield, where you're going to die 20 times in a match. You're going to respawn instantly with all your guns and the loadout that you chose.
Yeah.
Like it's a complete
There's
polar
no
opposite to that.
Yeah.
And
it's Metal Gear. Like, you get there, you start off the game with nothing, procure on site. I mean, like the original Metal Gear. But
it's fantastic. It is. It is unlike anything I've ever played before. Did either of you ever play H1Z1 or Rust?
No, I've never played any of this battle royale thing. It's really cool.
I tried to get the DayZ mod to run on my computer back when it first came out, but Arma 2 was just not cooperating. I couldn't get it to run.
That was a buggy one from what I'd heard.
And Battlegrounds is far from perfect.
Well,
it has hiccups and lag issues, and I was telling you, I finally got enough BP, the bonus points or whatever points,
battle points,
the in-game currency,
to open a crate. and I clicked open, and it said failed to open crate, and that was it. I just got nothing.
Whoa!
Yeah, it was a little sad, but hey,
and it still spent your points. Holy shit!
Yeah, it did. It's an early access game, so whatever happens, can't give them too much abuse.
And that's another thing too, is because it's early access, because it's buggy, because it's graphically so simple and so basic. I feel like you're more willing to give it a break when things don't go that well. Like you're not playing a completed game. You're just having fun in this. It's basically a sandbox with guns.
Yeah.
And I don't know, something about that makes it a lot easier to forgive the shortcomings.
Yeah.
And you're there for fun. You know?
Basically, drop in, kill people, or get killed yourself really quickly. Drop out. And you're like, okay, that was fun. Go do something else.
Yeah.
And it's made by an Irishman.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Brendan Green, PlayerUnknown. He's an Irishman.
PlayerUnknown.
Seems like an interesting dude.
It's about time. You should go say hi when you're back home. Picking up your SNES Classic.
Yeah. We're actually we're cousins. So we are.
Of course. Yeah. It's that, like you mentioned, Josh, when you die, being able to come back and start up the next game easily. It's the same thing with Splatoon. That's what I like about that as well. Like you can contribute, you can do stuff, you can die and come right back.
Yeah.
Those games, those like going back to like Super Meat Boy, like instant restart. Like
it's always the one I think of when you were talking about that as well. That's Super Meat Boy. Just instant die, instant, and keep going until you're through the level.
Yeah. There's something to be said for that. And it preys on our like human nature, or the addictive qualities that are what's the word? Fuck. Maybe I'll just delete this part too. The word where you're susceptible. Our susceptibility to addictive substances, addictive gameplay, addictive. It uses that, and it's powerful because
I am addicted to Elliot dying within the first 5 seconds of each match.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not there yet.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna stream quite a bit of this, and a bit of Rocket League as well. I think we've signed up for Mixer.com recently, which is Microsoft's streaming platform. Mm-hmm. It's meant to be very low lag, but also the big draw for us is it has co-op streaming. So if you wanted to follow a game of Battlegrounds, so PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds that we're playing and streaming, or if you want to follow Rocket League, you could basically choose between which of us you want to view the perspective of. So me, Josh, or Elliot, and it seems pretty interesting. I hear it's getting a lot of pickup. Obviously, Twitch is the streaming platform, but Mixer is meant to be gaining a bit of a community as well. So I think we're going to be doing a little bit of streaming on their multiplayer stuff.
Yeah, for the multiplayer stuff for sure. It's such a great. It's weird that there hasn't been an option for that.
Yeah,
before. I guess you can kind of like jury rig one with capture cards and stuff maybe, but
well, it's still PC only.
We're not that big of a operation yet.
It's still PC only too, so you won't be seeing us doing it with anything with like PS4 or anything.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
so good point.
Twitch will pretty much be console and the single player games might as well.
I think Mixer is actually I think it's Xbox One as well. Oh, but of course neither of you have an Xbox One, so
of course
I guess that doesn't matter.
But yeah, I think we'll probably go do that right now.
Oh yeah.
You guys are still around, yeah. Amy just went for a walk, so
my guests
I got the place to myself.
Yeah, my guests are out right now, so we can always I'm free for a bit.
Good stuff. Nice.
Yeah. Cool. Let's wrap this up then.
Okay. Where can people find us, Elliot?
People can find us at ratherbecast.com or on Twitter at RBPcast, at RBP Elliot, at RBP Stevo, at RBP Josh. There's a whole bunch of other stuff, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, that you can look up on the website.
Mixer.com. Find me at RBP Stevo. We're going to have to get a Rather be playing up there as well.
Yeah.
So you can see our co-streams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
What are you guys going to be playing? Do you guys actually think you're going to get our games done by the next episode, which could possibly be a roulette episode again? Or are we just going to be playing Battlegrounds pretty much from now?
we should at least all try to play Spec Ops: The Line. It's pretty short, and if we like basically motivate each other, give each other a kick up the arse on a daily or couple of days basis, then we should be able to knock it out.
I'm gonna have a 3-day handicap, but I think I can make some progress. So
I'm gonna be in Ireland.
Yeah, where are you?
That's right.
What are your excuses?
When are you going? It'll be after. So you'll be back after. This is your last episode before you go, and then we'll get the next one when you come back.
Yep.
So,
so I should still have lots of time to.
You should play Virginia while you for 2 hours.
Yeah, good call. I'll do that as well.
Yeah.
Actually, is it on anything? Is it on Vita? Is it on anything that you can travel with?
A laptop?
I don't think so.
No.
If you leave, you could probably do remote play with your Vita.
I could actually just play it on my laptop. Old school, Josh. Old school thinking.
Yeah. It's a good one, though. I'm excited to talk to someone else about it because just because there's no actual dialogue, there's so much to infer.
Cool.
But yeah.
I'll check it out.
Good book club. You, Josh? Okay, not playing anything?
No, I'm not. I thought I was already part of it. No, I'm going to play Wolfenstein and Spec Ops and some other stuff. And maybe.
Oh, yeah. You said you'll try some Spec Ops. Yeah. I'm going to.
Splatoon, Elliot? Will I answer that for you?
Play Splatoon. Yep. That's it for me. But yeah.
Who needs backlog roulette?
No, so the thing is, Amy's going out of town next week, so it's my chance to play everything that I can.
Okay.
So I'm really gonna try
prioritize, son. Prioritize, yeah. Play
Spec Ops all the way. Especially since you're out of town, there's gonna be less Rocket League and less PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. So.
less distractions from Stevo.
Yep.
Yeah. Just get some of these done. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Remember, if you don't play your games, hang on. Let me try that one more time. Play your games because they're not going to play themselves.
He got there in the end, but we might need to edit that and have Josh do it instead.
Do it, Josh.
Bye, everybody.
All right, everybody. Remember, if you play your games because they're not going to play themselves.
Cheers.
All right.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Later.